Canada's resilience and economic strength, particularly as we face up to Donald Trump, and that is rural Canada and our farmers. I am the daughter of a farmer. I grew up on a farm. There are no people in Canada or the world who work harder than farmers. And I do think it's really important for us to have government policies that support our farmers. They give us food security. They are an important source of strength when it comes to this standoff with the U.S. And we need to be very clear with Canada's dairy farmers that we will stand for supply management. I mean, isn't it a good thing that we produce our own milk, our own eggs, our own butter, our own cheese, that we're not dependent on U.S. factory farms for that? So we need to remember and stand with our farmers.
Ms. Gould, you're next, please.
Thank you, Hannah. Look, Chrystia, I'm really glad you mentioned the rural economy and agriculture. One of the first things I would do as Prime Minister in my speech from the throne is to ensure that we protect supply management. It was a piece of legislation that unfortunately died when we prorogued Parliament, but I think it is imperative that we protect our supply managed sectors. But I think one of the frustrations that rural Canada has had with us as a government is that we haven't spoken enough about sectors in rural Canada, whether that is mining, whether that is, energy, whether that is agriculture, whether that is forestry. And, for us, we have to really ensure that when we talk about productivity, we're not just talking about new sectors. We're talking about existing sectors. And this is where AI can be used as a tool to enhance productivity in those sectors. And that's something that I'm really excited about. But one thing that I do want to mention, and Mark, I'm glad you talked about Paul Martin, because I know you were a really excellent Deputy Minister of Finance who did really good work, is that we also need to remember that the economy is about people. It's not just numbers or points on a graph. It's about how do we make the economy work for people. And Hannah, your question about productivity, what does that mean to the average Canadian when they're saying, I can't afford my groceries and I'm having a hard time paying my rent? We need to talk about the things that matter to Canadians, not because we're talking as politicians, but because we're talking as people who understand and experience what they're going through. Okay. And that's something that I bring to the table.